can't remember when I first visited the Fat Cat pub, and I certainly can't remember when I first left it. It's a mecca for real ale drinkers in Norwich, and over the years it's won numerous local and national awards. I've often wondered what goes into making the pub the place that it is. Colin Keatley has been the landlord since 1991. I asked him how he came to call the pub the Fat Cat.
When I bought this pub 19 years ago, it was called the New Inn. And when pubs are known as the New Inn, they are generally called that name because they are a new pub on the site of an old one. And this one was built in 1877 on the site of a very old pub. I needed to do something different with this place because it hadn't got a particularly good reputation over the years. And to put it on the map, we needed to change everything, including the name. I read an article in a Sunday paper about this chap in Sheffield who was a lecturer at a university there, who was a vegetarian, a non-smoker and a real ale drinker. Couldn't find a pub in Sheffield that he liked, so he decided to create one. While he was at auction buying a pub about 27 years ago, his wife, a graphic artist, was doodling and drawing a picture of a cat, a fat cat. So he said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she explained. So he said, "Oh, if we get this pub, we're going to call it the Fat Cat." Now, I read this article and I phoned this guy up, and it transpires that he also runs quite a well-known brewery called the Kellerman Brewery. And he said to me, "Well, I don't mind you calling a pub in Norwich the Fat Cat if you take my beer occasionally." And called it the Fat Cat, and I've basically never looked back. Brilliant name.
The morning of a new day at the pub begins with the pub being cleaned. The pub doesn't serve hot food. Colin says the smell will put people off their beer. Instead, rolls are prepared on site, with pork pies, and not forgetting crisps. At any one time, over 20 different beers are on tap, with many foreign bottled beers too. Over 12,000 different beers since the pub opened. Every day Colin's approached by different brewers asking him to sell their beer. Customers too have their own suggestions, beers they've tasted on their travels. So it's always busy at delivery times. Colin not only takes beers from national and local suppliers, but 5 years ago decided he wanted to brew his own too. Over 4,000 pints per week are now brewed at his Lawson Road brewery. Given that beer was first brewed in the 6th millennium BC, it now looks to be a very scientific process. The beer is supplied to outlets all over Norfolk. A third of production goes all over the country. The brewery is now looking to brew seasonal beers throughout the year, with a different beer every other month. At a time when many pubs are closing as they prove to be uneconomic, the Fat Cat is more than weathering the storm. The last 3 years have been the best the pub has had in its 19-year history. As I came away from the Fat Cat, I knew that in view of what I'd learnt, in future I'd enjoy a beer there from a completely different perspective. I only had one disappointment. I hadn't done any of my filming during opening hours.